Jamie, you're back.
They found us.
Run! I found you. I'm glad. Where the hell have you been? Keys.
Atheist business.
Thank you. Let's go.
Nice catch.
Oh. Is it never ever going to stop being so loud?
You'll lose your hearing after a while. It's fine.
To the Atheist Mobile. We got to
the Atheist Cave. Do or where?
We got to do something.
All right.
Hey.
No. I told you not to pull that lever.
Austin.
Look what's happening. I blame
Austin.
I blame
we
you.
have a problem. Austin. Hello. You know,
I don't know what those numbers mean.
Figures.
Oh, you're gonna tell me you really went to space? Yeah, I am. And we crash landed.
Mark killed it on this thing.
Oh my gosh, toxic waste? Wait, genie?
Does this mean we get superpowers?
Do we get a wish?
Let's do it.
I wish for 1,000 wishes. Oh, he's gone.
All right.
Hey.
Wait, I didn't get my wish. I'm still here with you.
You didn't say it out loud. You didn't say Simon Says.
Welcome everybody to Talk Heathen. I'm Eric.
Hello, and I am Jamie.
Today is June 10th, 2018. It is season 2, episode 23, and we've got some really, really exciting stuff. But before we get into it, what the hell, guys? We got open lines here, so give us a call. If you have a religious neighbor or family member, or if you want to call in with a topic, please call in. Just 512.
Shout out the window. Your God is alive.
02. That will not help us.
512 686.
Right.
That is a joke.
Call us. We have
I'm
the lines open.
I'm the president of the ACA. I speak for the ACA. That's sarcasm.
Before we get into
all about friendly, good atheism.
You done? Okay.
I mean, never.
So,
but I'm not gonna. I was trying.
Go ahead.
I was trying not to talk over you that time. It just comes naturally now.
I know. Okay, so we have a couple really, really important things that we want to get to before we get to our calls. We have 2 now.
Number 1.
Come on, call in, you guys. Number 1.
On.
Artemis, we want to wish you a happy 11th birthday. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much.
Artemis is a young volunteer here at the ACA Library. See, she is celebrating her 11th birthday and she volunteers. What's your excuse, punk? No.
She's celebrating her 11th birthday. Put it off so that she can come and help out.
She did. She was going to have her party today.
Tomorrow.
And
so
she's
Artemis,
celebrating tomorrow. And
thank you to our youngest volunteer.
Yeah.
Also, I want to give a shout out to Tori. Tori's going
to you.
Yeah. Tori's going through surgery, and we want to say, Tori, we hope you have a successful surgery. We're rooting for you. We're thinking about you. And next, the big one. Are we ready?
Yes.
We've got Patreon.
There's a meteor.
It is.
Oh, wait. We have Patreon.
It's out, and we're super fucking excited, you guys. So,
really? What's it out for, and how can I find it?
Well, you can find our Patreon if you go to patreon.com/talkheathen-to-me. That's right. You go to patreon.com/talkheathen-to-me, and there are a couple different of levels that you can support us. $1 to support the show, 2 to get the ad-free podcast, and 3 if you want to get a private, patron-only version of the show that you and other patrons can talk on, all that good stuff.
And those are just the bonus levels that we can announce. I can neither confirm nor deny the existence of a number that will get you shirtless pictures of Eric. So just give as much as you can and desire. And
there is a certain number that will get myself and our producer
is single.
to full time.
That's true.
I would really, really love to do this, to work here full time and to be able to volunteer for the Atheist Community of Austin all of the time. It's up to y'all to help support us. And to do that, we're going to be having some fun today. Because just right now, during this live stream, if you become a patron, we will thank you by name. If you become a patron by the end of this episode, we're going to go in and thank by name, right, Jamie?
Yes, we are going to thank by name and possible goofy sentence. So, if you write one. Yeah.
Oh, we're doing that.
Is that a $3? It's a $3 goofy sentence as long as it doesn't say something positive about Hitler.
If you become a patron at the $3 level and up,
He likes Marvel.
if
and
you
feels
send
strongly
us-
about that, you could make him say something
okay,
bad
it's got to
about
be a
it.
lot more than $3 for me to talk shit about Marvel. But if you do become a member over the $3 level and send us a sentence on Patreon before the end of this episode, we will read whatever the hell that sentence is within reason. We're not going to say really horrendous things, but other than that,
Oh, I don't know. We have a
pretty high line. Yeah, fair enough.
We have a no. We have a member of the audience who is operating his phone enthusiastically. So.
Oh no! It's gonna happen. Okay.
Oh no.
So please consider reaching out to us, supporting us. Just $1 an episode is enough to help keep the lights on, help us get a better camera, help us. Our mic clips are broken right now, and we're completely out of mic clips.
Gremlins stole one of our mic
We really
clips.
do run this thing on a shoestring, and we really want to be able to. Well, I want to be able to work here and do this full time.
Yeah.
So please consider donating, or consider becoming a patron.
Yeah. People. This community may be headquartered in Austin, but it is international. You are a member of it, and we are always here, and we want to have that door open 7 days a week so that whatever time you're anywhere in the Earth area, you can stop by and say hi. Astronauts on the International Space Station, you are welcome as well. Please don't land the space station here. I don't know how that works.
Okay. In reality, though, seriously,
Hey,
the
astronauts
ACA
are
is
real,
open
okay?
2
Just
days
saying.
a week. It's open Saturday, Sunday, and after a certain level, we'll be able to keep it up 7 days a week. Keep it open for anybody coming through, and we want to be able to do that. All right.
If they're full-time, we can keep it open 7 days a week.
Yep.
There will be complimentary food and drink, you know.
So saith the president.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Are we
Dance
ready?
Jesus, is it more than a Twitter? Who knows? We'll find out. Yeah, bring it on. What? What do you mean? You don't-
Omar in Louisiana, you're live with Eric and Jamie. How are you doing today?
Oh, yes, I'm good. I assume, yeah, okay. This is my first time on Atheist Experience. I'm glad to be on the air.
Unfortunately, this is not your first time on Atheist Experience. This is your first time on Talk Heathen.
Well, I mean, I did make an attempt, but I never made it through. So,
All right. Well,
we'll take
thank
it.
you for calling into the show. Welcome, and you're gonna have a first call.
Yeah, what would you like to talk about today?
well, first off, I'm an ex-Muslim, so it's no secret to you that I'm now an atheist since 2013.
Congratulations.
Rock on. What did
Well, I mean, supposedly I have so much to talk about, but I know I have to keep it like at a moderate rate, like I mean, because I know you got other callers on the line, so I mean, like.
Well,
half my family still doesn't accept that I'm now atheist, and when I finally confessed my dad, he did not take it lightly. How do I say this? He disowned me until I really had to do something a bit irrational to get him to see where I'm coming from, you know?
Yeah, that is a far too common story that we hear parents disowning their children for not believing. People losing their faith.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
sorry that you dealt with that, man.
We're okay now, but I mean, it was not easy to go through in the first place. I mean, I think we can all agree whether God exists or not. He doesn't care, right?
Do you mean about your not believing is what he doesn't care about?
A God. He said if a God
exists,
that God doesn't.
No matter what it is or what the subject is, he doesn't care if we believe or not, or he doesn't care the fact that we live or die. I mean, it's completely up to us, right?
Yeah. He's talking about the God, Jamie.
Okay. Well,
so yeah, I mean, the interesting thing is that disinterest that is perceived is exactly the same as if that God didn't exist at all.
Yeah.
So I mean, the funny thing is yeah, a lot of people I've heard the argument, oh, there's a God, but he just doesn't do anything, and it's like, well,
what's the difference between that and non-existence?
There's no.
I mean,
there's no difference. Yeah.
I mean, it took me some time to finally accept it. I mean, I still had doubts since I was a little after I graduated high school, I mean, just open my head to other doors out there,
Yeah. Did you go to school in the States? Are you I mean,
Yeah.
Oh,
I graduated.
yeah.
Well, I'm from New Jersey, but
oh, okay.
I'm stuck in Louisiana for 12 years now. I'm trying to get out.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not
Like,
sure which was worse, being stuck in Islam or
Well,
Louisiana.
I mean, there's not much to do down here, so.
Well, you're right next door to, well, I was about to say Texas, but that's East Texas. So
Yeah.
Well,
you're
yeah, I know.
two
I've been there.
doors down from Central Texas. Come visit. Also, I don't know what you're doing for your first well, it's not your first Ramadan. What do you usually do for Ramadan now
Well,
that you're
yeah,
not
I forgot. Well, I mean, one of my family members
slowly
talked to
drink
me
a
about Ramadan, and I don't know what to say to her. That like, you know, hey, you gotta accept that I'm an atheist, and I'm not coming back. You know.
yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to not to be rude to her and everything. I mean, we did have our differences aside, you know. But I mean, I don't think like it's supposed to, as you know, it's supposed to like learn self-restraint, but I don't think that it does help me. I think I learned the self-restraint on my own without fasting.
Yeah.
I don't really think that fasting is a good idea. Mostly it's just
No, I mean, it's not the same as dieting. I mean, if you're dieting, you're not eating for a time, and you still need to drink at least water or something you can put in your mouth.
Yeah. Well, that in dieting doesn't mean abstaining from all food or waiting until the sun goes down to gorge yourself.
Yeah, I know. So I'm supposed to have something from sexual intercourse or what else? Getting angry. I don't know.
Damn.
Yeah, there's a lot of things when the sun's up in that. It's just that the reason I ask is that there's the ex-Muslim friends that I have here. You know, were making posts about.
I remember one of them. I believe he said his name was Bilal. Now he calls himself Bill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill's actually been here at the ACA. Really nice guy.
Have you visited Austin
I saw
before?
the accusation comments from Muslims there saying, "Oh, he wasn't a Muslim in the first place."
Oh yeah, he was.
I think I can prove that I was Muslim.
Yeah.
At least I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's in Arabic, so you would not understand the words that I'm saying, or at least try to translate after I said it. You know. I'm not sure. If you want to hear it, fine, but I'm going to sound a lot different, and it's still me. I don't know how else I can prove that it's not me.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim. Ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Ameen.
So,
yeah, those are the words that I've been told since I was about 4 or 5 years old.
what does that mean?
Well,
I'm completely ignorant.
Well, again, I'm not an expert, but I mean, it's what I've been told to say because I never fully understood and learned Arabic in full because I was born and raised in New Jersey.
Oh, how interesting.
And
so you kind of know it phonetically, but not the actual meaning behind it.
Well, it's supposed to be like, I mean, God is the master of day of judgment, and we thank Him. Well, that's what alhamdulillah means. Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In translation.
I know that in Hebrew, there's the Barakata Adonai Eloheinu.
Which
interesting. The Bible,
almost all of them start
with
Barakata.
Hebrew, supposedly.
But
and,
like,
I don't know how it's mistranslated, and like, and it doesn't matter to me anymore that whether Jesus was.
Yeah, it's all good. Well, the statement of "Oh no, you were never a real believer in the first place" isn't unique to Muslims. Christians say that
they're
shit all
gonna
the
throw
time.
that accusation for me, so that's predictable. They're gonna have to try something more original now, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't have to lie that I never went to Mecca once, but I mean, I'm not gonna want to throw my life away to like, you know, go
Also,
there and like, you know, get killed by extreme heat, you know. I'm not gonna do that. Thank you.
Yeah, I also haven't been to Mecca, and I'm fine. I'm gonna live the rest of my life almost certainly without visiting. So.
Well, I mean, I understand what you're trying to do. Like, you're trying to express, like, why you have the right to be an atheist. And you know what? I'm tempted to do the same thing. Go back to school and get out there and, like, prove to, like, why I have the right to be an atheist.
Yeah.
It's not like we're telling other Christians or whatever religious believers they don't have the right to do what they're doing, unless they're hurting other people physically or mentally.
That or passing laws that would impinge on the rights of everybody else, right? If I said it's my religion to punch you in the face, that
you don't get to use force for foolish reasons.
I mean, I've been picked in high school, and one day I just decided to fight back. I mean, I was using the punching bag every day until, like, one day I snapped, and well, sadly I didn't win the fight, but, like, I got punched in the eye, and I couldn't move for hours,
Yeah, I mean, at that point, if you...
I was too chicken to press charges, but, like, I let it go.
Well, that decision's up to you. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to obligate you to make decisions like that about your own life.
Well, it's not like I was going to get any money out of it, so... I mean,
yeah. No, you do you, brah.
Yeah. Alrighty, man. Well, thank you for calling in.
And stay in touch with us over the social media.
I hope I can do something like this someday. I was hoping to, like, get with Matt Dillahunty and, or at least find some way. I mean, I think I can find YouTube videos about it now, right?
About what?
Yeah.
I mean, I probably can start a podcast, can I?
Can you
what?
Start a podcast? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, do something like this, kind of relevant to what you're doing, but, like, start small in order to get a studio.
Yeah, we need more voices in the movement, man. The atheist community is a very, very small one. We're trying to grow. We're trying to support other people in their voices in the community.
Succeeding and growing.
And we are succeeding in growing it. And absolutely. Start a podcast, hop in, and I hope to see it. Definitely. Shoot us a email at mail@talkheathen.com.
Do you know if there, maybe I could find it, but is there an atheist movie, or, like, how a Christian becomes an atheist instead of the other way around?
No. Everybody's journey is different, man. And people can lose their faith for a variety of reasons. Some of them aren't even very good reasons.
Yeah.
So it just kind of is what it is. But...
Well, I mean, it was hard since my mom passed away, and she died from cancer.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I can't say, I mean... I can't say she's in heaven, but what I can say is that she's within her legacy is within my memories, and that's as good as it's going to get. I can't sugarcoat it for myself. I can't sugarcoat it for her, anyone else related to her,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there's something to be said about sugarcoating things being a disservice to their memory. But
All right.
Yeah, it sounds like you're set up. You're doing good. You found your way. So.
Yeah. Omar, you take care.
Not
Keep in touch.
fully,
and we're going to move on to the next call, okay, buddy?
Yeah, all right.
All right, take care. Our next caller is Ken in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. I said that appropriately, and I'm very
Can we
proud
get a
of
round
myself.
of applause for
Right?
that?
Oh, yeah, by the way, live studio fucking audience. Hey, everybody. If you want to be part of our live studio audience, please come to Austin. We are at the Atheist Community of Austin, 1507 West Canaan Glen, Austin, Texas, 78756. Come on Sunday, 1 o'clock Central, and we'd love to see you, be part of our audience, have food with us, enjoy each other's company. It's a really good time. Kevin, you are so kind, just waiting on air. Are you there, buddy?
Ken.
Ken.
Yeah.
I said Kevin.
And actually,
He got
you
the
pronounced
town right.
Saskatoon perfectly.
I did?
Excellent job. Yes, perfectly.
Yeah. Saskatoon.
Did you pronounce Saskatchewan right? I think you even pronounced Saskatchewan right. It was perfect. You almost speak Aboriginal. Aboriginal.
So
You should put that on your resume. Speaks Aboriginal.
yeah,
See how far that gets you.
not very far. What did you want to talk about, Ken?
Okay, I've noticed several times when you were Eric. By the way, Jamie, excellent Sunday best.
Right? Doesn't he look good? Is this just a little bit better than the inside out blue T-shirt? Right? Oh my gosh! Live studio audience, what do we think?
Yeah, this is just you're just trying to even the scales from hashtag right swipe.
A round
Eric
of apathy.
A little bit. No.
Okay.
I mean, look. At
now,
Go ahead, Ken.
Eric.
Still single.
Eric, I've noticed several times when you're on both Talk Heathen and over on the Atheist Experience that occasionally when you're talking to callers, you'll mention that free will is a illusion. And I've had some discussions in the discussion page and things regarding this because, I mean, if it's an illusion, it's a really convincing illusion.
Is it though?
So, well, to me, like, I've heard and read the arguments about the idea that when you're making a decision, the decision has already been made by the subconscious, and there is fMRI evidence to support that the decisions are made before you're even aware there's a decision to be made. Okay, so I understand all of that. However, if I'm going to get an ice cream cone, and the guy says, "What flavor do you want?" And I go, let's see, chocolate or vanilla? Well, I usually get chocolate. Maybe I'll get vanilla this time.
Okay.
And then I think, well, I think I'll flip a coin and let the coin decide it. Now, in all of those cases, I feel like I'm making a decision between two things. So I guess my question is, well, I guess I have two questions. One is, there seems to be quite a dichotomy between free will, no free will, between people who study this stuff.
I would actually posit that the dichotomy perceived is often one of free will or total chaos, and I would push back against that. But just kind of jumping in because it started to feel like you were starting to talk about randomness, but please go on, I'm sorry.
Yeah, can we actually define what kind of free will we're talking about right now? Like, are we talking about, are we in a deterministic universe
Or can I just decide that I want to jump out and fly?
Yeah, well, is it that, or is it decision-making is possible in a deterministic universe as far as we define it? Like, what do you mean when you say free will? Just
Are
briefly.
you asking me? Oh, you're asking me. Okay. So, I mean, the idea that free will means you are not constrained by anything, including gravity, I think is ridiculous at its face.
I agree.
We're obviously constrained by the laws of nature. But then inside, once we've gotten past all of that, and we say, okay, so making decisions based on what is offered to you, that I would consider free will. Now, certain things I am constrained, like, okay, I guess I can make the choice to murder somebody, but I understand that should I do that, there are laws and there's punishment and there's all of that stuff, right? So then those things have to be factored into my decision.
Why?
However, why? Because I'm a thinking human being.
Yeah, okay, so now it sounds like you're getting into like a don't tread on me level of my decisions shouldn't have consequences, which is generally
of course they should.
Different. That's like political philosophy as opposed to like metaphysical philosophy. What do we?
Okay, so if when we're discussing whether or not free will exists, and when Eric, you say free will is an illusion, what's the definition of free will that I might agree that it's an illusion?
Sure, that is actually a really, really good question. So I guess we need to define a few more things, right? You were talking about how, yes, there's no absolute free will, whereas I can just decide I want to fly, right? Or I want to travel forward or back in time or break those kinds of... We're restricted within a subset of things in the universe that we're living in right now already, right?
Sure, we can agree on that.
Okay, there are some people who would say there's no freedom there, right? But I'm not going to go there. I'm going to say defined within that subset, there are the things that we can do. Right?
Sure.
Now, when I look at people saying that, there has to be free will, I see two things. I see, number one, I'm really uncomfortable with the idea that I have a brain and a central nervous system that is a mechanism by which my body takes in information and pops out what I'm going to do, right?
You're uncomfortable with that?
No, I'm not, but it's an uncomfortability that I often bump up against. And so when I bump up against that, my response is, I'm afraid is not a good response. I'm afraid is not a good reason to think that we have free will, right? So that's what I generally come up against with that. Now, if I were to move further in and talk about free will, we are limited. So you're talking about the chocolate or vanilla ice cream, right?
Sure.
Now, if you liked chocolate more than vanilla, you're more likely to pick chocolate, right?
Sure. But I can choose vanilla.
You can choose vanilla. Now, because you chose vanilla, there's not a way that we can determine that that wasn't just the outcome of the processes of your brain and central nervous system making a decision. There's a lot of misfires. Our brains are really funky. There's a lot of weird stuff. I like to think of one of those Plinko machines where the ball winds up anywhere, you know what I mean? You could drop it from the same spot and it'll wind up, you know, a million different places. It's just this really, really interesting thing where I look in it and people talk about, you know, a ghost within the machine. Is there a soul that is operating, you know, your brain and your body? And well, no, we haven't been able to determine that there's a soul that can operate your brain and your body. And so when I think about free will, I think about that. When I think about there not being free will, it is that we can completely see the mechanisms by which your brain and central nervous system push you to be making decisions in the way that you are.
So I actually want to jump in here because it sounds like we're talking about you as a person as if there's a dichotomy between the conscious and subconscious brain. So if you're talking about, oh, is there a way for the conscious part of my brain to do all of the thinking? I mean, the answer is no, whether you want to call that free will. Also, I'm not entirely sure where people are insisting there isn't free will because they can't fly came from. I'm sure that someone out there is. Is that an argument that people take seriously?
Yes. Yes.
Why?
Really?
Yeah, I had a philosophy professor who said that. You know, there's no such thing as free will because I can't jump out this window and fly.
Yeah. And Jordan Peterson says that you can't quit smoking without having a mystical experience, but it's bullshit.
It is.
It is bullshit. Someone just won a bet, but yeah.
But we have to
Jordan Peterson
we have to meet people where they're at, and when they come and they bring this claim, I'm not going to shut down the conversation because it's ridiculous. I'm going to take this opportunity to show why it's ridiculous. And so when I come across that claim, I'm going to say, okay, here's the argument, and here's why it's wrong. Right? It's just you know, kind of what we're here for.
Right. So is it a common contention that if the decision occurs in the subconscious, that it is not part of your will?
I would say...
I've heard that not stated directly, but like, oh, you don't really decide because it happens in your brain before you know it, but that's still...
But is it not your brain?
No, that's my point exactly, is it's still your brain.
Yeah.
So then I guess it's always, like, this is one thing I've noticed even on the Atheist Expression discussion page when we get into these discussions is definition of terms is critical.
It is.
Like, we start arguing a particular thing, a concept, and then we find out after like 275 comments and discussions that everybody seems to be talking about a different concept.
They are. And generally the concept that I bump up against is like the one that I said, because a lot of arguments against the idea, you know, that say, oh, there is free will, tries to point out the idea that you can make a decision that your brain was not a part of, or that you can choose against the programming that is part of, you know, your brain and central nervous system. And that is their evidence of free will, but you really can't show that. And because you can't show that, if you're defining free will as being able to act outside of, you know, or make a decision outside of the confines of what makes you up physically, then I have to fall on the there is no free will bandwagon. Now, the consequences of that are really, really interesting. I really love, I think it was Hitch who had said, I have to believe in free will, I have no choice, right? That we as a society behave and have systems of justice and ways that we treat each other assuming that we have free will. And so what's interesting to me is the conversation that you have to have where you go, okay, so I don't think we have free will, but I think we have to live in a society where everybody assumes that you do. And
well, you're talking crime and punishment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually
of course.
take
I mean, because if you ultimately are not making your own choices, then how can I punish you for making a choice?
No, I disagree. If that is the case, and they're not making their own choice, then neither are you, and you're still on an equal position. And they had the desire to murder someone, and you had a desire to impart that justice.
Lock them up.
So whether or not we are puppets of like a really, really weird God thing, or set of them, or just humans, or we're in a deterministic universe, the fact that unless some humans have free will and others don't, we shouldn't treat them differently. It's like, children. We don't have the same sort of rights and punishments for malfeasance that we apply to legal adults.
There was an entire argument about free will that had to do with zombies. Just for that, just to make that point.
I will retain my free will to defend myself against zombies.
It has nothing to do with that.
In reality, by appealing to fiction.
I'm sorry?
We make a point in reality by appealing to fiction.
Well, we're able to explore a lot of truths about society and culture by exploring them in fiction, as long as we remember that they are fiction.
Yeah, and not try and define atheists by Dostoevsky.
Finishing up the free will point, we need to realize, just like what Jamie said, I think he said it almost completely the way that I was going to, and that is that we need to hold people accountable. So when you said, if someone is not responsible for their actions, they should not be punished, I agree, and there are people who have, in certain circumstances, been not responsible for a thing that has happened. It could have been a psychotic break. It could have been, any number of things. You could have been, could have had a gun to your head and had to, do that or die. But when it comes to what you do, you are responsible for those things. And even if you were to point and say, oh, well, there's a completely mechanistic underpinning to the way that your body works, who cares? We still need to create this society to be able to grow it the way that it is. And without doing so, we wouldn't have what we have.
Well,
so
I would agree with that.
Yeah, a river doesn't decide like where it floods, but we still build dams.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
kind of like
shit. Damn, Jamie, that was a good one. Give me nuts.
You said damn, Jamie, as a pun. I'm proud of you.
That was a pun.
That was punny.
It was lots of fun.
If you, there was also like the idea that if morality, morality only exists in the if you're living in a society. If you're living alone on a deserted island and there's no other people around, there is no immoral action that you can take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because morality has everything to do with the way we treat each other.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
make an
thank you very much. It's fun.
Yeah, it was really nice talking to you.
Yeah,
this is actually one of those topics that I really, really enjoy and I really like digging into. And it's one of those things that if you were to come and say, Eric, let's talk about morality, I'm going to say, cool, let's go get a beer. And want to talk about it.
I'm actually making beer right now.
Oh, send us some. Send me some.
Yeah.
I'd love to, but I'd have to send it as a yeast sample because it's illegal to transport my beer across the border. We call it bootlegging. There were Canadians that made a lot of money off that during Prohibition.
Damn it.
Yeah, I was about to say, the only address he knows is the library, and I'd rather not have the
Send
ACA
me alcohol
receive.
to 1507 West Koenig Lane.
Oh my God.
Austin, Texas.
I cannot be, you became president and then decided to turn our community into
Eric.
A bootlegging operation.
Address it to Eric. Send me your booze. I like gin.
Okay, get a P.O. box. Oh my God. A P.O. box number to come.
Ken, this was actually a lot of fun, man. Feel free to call back if you want to discuss any other philosophical issues.
Facebook.
Good, thank you.
Instagram.
Absolutely. Take care, buddy. Jamie, do you want to drop our info?
I mean, I'd like to say it, but
go for it.
Which parts? You can find us on Facebook at Talk Heathen. You can find Eric on Twitter at Dirty Heathen. You can find Eric on Instagram at Eric the Heathen. You can find the Reddit discussion, reddit.com/talkheathen.
/r/talkheathen.
/r/talkheathen. For you got to be pedantic at me. This is a weird show.
You can find Jamie at Jamie the Heathen on Instagram, and you can find him on Twitter at reason_evidence.
As in the sentence, reason is underscored by evidence. Okay, well, that's fine. You can just mock me on the show. That's cool. I don't care.
Other than that, yeah, reach out. And for everybody else who's calling in, we have 2 callers on the line. If you want a short show, that's fine. But if you want to call in so we have shit to talk about,
they're not getting
do
a short
so.
Show. They're not getting a short
512.
show. They're going to get a show where the second half of it is me talking at you and you trying to keep that face.
Okay. That said,
You have a moral imperative to rescue Eric from that torture.
Please.
It's so easy.
Well, and we actually do have a
512.
couple of patrons who've hopped onto Patreon so far.
Ooh.
I've only seen one person post in the Patreon comments the statement that they want us to read, so hopefully we should only have to read one thing. Well, depends. $3 and up. We'll say what you want us to say, and we will thank you by name if you donate and become a patron by the end of this episode. Patreon.com/talkheathen to me. Everybody else, call in, 512-686-0279. We are moving on to Mike in South Carolina. Mike, you are live with Eric and Jamie. How are you doing today?
Hey, guys. Can you hear me okay on this?
Yeah, great, actually.
Yep.
Hey, awesome. Thanks. I want to start off by saying that I've been an atheist for about 5 years or so.
Congratulations.
And, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, got me beat.
About a year ago, all right. So about a year ago, I started watching AXP and Atheist Experience, and they started helping me form basically my ideas, my thoughts into coherent statements. And then about 2 months ago, I found you guys because I believe Eric actually guest host over at AXP, and decided to check you guys out. And I just want to say thank you guys for all that you do. You really do make a difference. And I don't know. I guess you guys get 1 million emails a day, but I want to personally thank you. And thanks for taking my call. So,
that gives me the warm fuzzies. I still do answer every single person who emails, and it takes time. There's a backlog, but I will get to it.
I also look at them just less religiously.
Not religiously. Go ahead.
And
well, what I wanted to talk about was all right, Jamie, come on, man.
Go ahead, brother.
All right, so I've learned that you like to interrupt people. That's kind of cool. I guess it's endearing in some ways, but anyways,
Wait, that's not true.
Is no.
No, I was just I was going for the interrupt again.
Oh, the burn! The burn is real. Somebody call the ambulance.
All right, the show is good now.
Jamie got burned. All right, Mike, you are now one of my favorite people. Go on. What would you like to talk about?
All right, so my mother is a believer in the Christian God. She seems to be very extremely convinced that there is a God. She tends to believe more of the Christian teachings, but not everything in the Christian Bible. Now, she's one that won't allow more than just a few sentences go by before mentioning a God, a spiritual meaning, faith, etc. Now, with this, with this train of logic, I'm trying to summarize so much into a short amount of time, but I see her breaking off a lot of relationships with family and stuff now. And I see that every now and then she contributes it to something basically what God is telling her to do and what God wants, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. My little sisters live with her, 2 of them. They're teenagers. One's 18, one's 15, 16. And she puts a lot of ideas in their heads, for example, about how God is telling her all these things about family members. And thus it seems like they are then cut off from the rest of their family. So I really feel like I'm a full subscriber to you believe what you want, but as long as it's not hurting others. And in this case, I feel like it is. So I felt like I wanted to come and just start a conversation with her, basically trying out everything that I've been learning through you guys, Atheist Experience, and my newly found street epistemology. But I'm not too good at that just yet. But
takes practice.
That conversation lasted for 6 hours, and it was just horrible. It was circular reasoning after circular reasoning. And look, to make this real short, I want some advice. She's one of those people who says she doesn't believe in an objective truth. And it really came down to that because she says God appears before her and tells her all this stuff. But she then acknowledges how these radical Muslims and all that, and how Allah appears before them and tells them what to do and bomb the Twin Towers, so on and so forth. And she won't acknowledge that. Well, she says, well, that's their truth, and I have my truth, and I just don't know how to handle this. And she doesn't like people interrupting her in order to clarify certain things. Like when she brings up the word spiritual, I ask her to stop and explain that, and then we go down a rabbit hole because she can't, and she never gets to say her full testimony. So anyways, I want to know your guys' thoughts. I thought about having her call in, and she kind of somewhat agreed to it, but she's not too sure yet.
Well, we would.
And you said she doesn't like to be interrupted.
That's right. And I noticed that you guys do that way less, other than a joke from Jamie,
or 20,000.
Right.
Matt just poked in and is this guy kidding? Jamie? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I got a stare.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's heard of Matt Dillahunty, and she's like, nope, I'm not going to do that. Well, so I was like, all right, talk even.
She's absolutely welcome to call in, and actually, if she called in today, we have room on the line.
Yeah.
We would talk to her today if you called.
Hand her the phone. No.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, just briefly, it is kind of frustrating because people want to just tell their story. That's happened with callers before on the phone, where they're like, oh, it's only a page that I'm going to read you. And then 10 minutes later, you're trying to get them to summarize it. But I've had a reaction with a person that I know and am very close with to, I think it was about something else entirely. They made a statement, and I was like, well, no, that's not true because X, Y, and Z. And their response was one of offense. Like their little words were like, excuse me, no, you're wrong, as if that is a slur of some kind. Which also, it was not the words I used, whatever. I'm reliving an argument that I had about being able to contradict someone. It can be very difficult trying to talk with someone that isn't used to critically analyzing anything, right? Like when you said, when you were telling us that you brought up the objection of, yeah, faith makes people fly planes into towers as well. And you told us that her response was, well, that's their truth. Yeah, when you say you're getting into street epistemology, is it just on the YouTube, or do you have the book, A Manual for Creating Atheists, as well?
No, I've not read into the book just yet. I listened to, I hate the book. I don't know his name, the real popular one. You've had him on as a guest. I listened to his podcast.
Oh,
Anthony Magnificent.
Anthony, yeah. Anthony's good.
Yep,
there's a section in the book that talks about the different kinds of doxastic closure and where people are in their mental shackles of faith, etc., to put it bluntly and aggressively. And that's one of them, and that's one of them where they need your help the most.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, and So the SE approach, the street epistemology approach, and I'm also going to say for everybody else who's listening, if you want to check it out, the book is A Manual for Creating Atheists by Peter Boghossian, and it's a good book. He's really intense, and if you want to check out one of the best street epistemologists that I've ever seen, you can either check out Anthony Magnabosco or Dan the Man, who we're super excited about. Objectively Dan, yeah. Actually, they're all in a group together, and it's really amazing. And if you want to have that conversation with your family, that is a really good approach to have. But I would say you're not going to get there in one conversation. You're not going to get there in 20 conversations. It is a long series of time of coming up against something, then going back and chewing on it, coming up, and going back and chewing on it. And it's every piece you can move forward just a little bit as you're able to do that. And I know that if you've seen this show, you know that I'm going to say model the behavior that you want. So anytime that you have the opportunity to say, I don't know, and that's, do that. And also show that it's not a shameful thing to say, I don't know. It's not a shameful thing to say, I was wrong about this. Because every time you get the chance to be wrong, that is your chance to learn the right way. And that's awesome.
Right. No, I definitely agree. I've been doing that. My sisters, they actually they have a laugh at it. I kind of make it like a fun thing. Like they'll mention something like auras, whatever that thing is around people's bodies and stuff like that. And they'll talk they'll talk as if it's like fact, like, as if the sun just rose. And I'll say, hey, how do you know that? And they're like, oh man, here goes Kyle. And they're, oh man, you know what? I called in with a fake name, and there goes my real name. So, all right, well, that's okay.
It's like, oh, here he goes again, trying to get us to think about things.
Mike.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Mike.
Liar.
That's all right. I was
you with
actually
your critical
hoping that
thinking.
this would never come around and she would see this and stuff like that. But it's actually been a really good conversation, so I really don't care. So,
cheers.
Name's Kyle. I'm actually over here in Florida. So,
Florida.
Cool.
I'm Eric. I'm in Austin.
I'm Jamie.
Yeah.
And I'm
This is
also in
Ted.
Austin.
He's been going by Jamie Boone. His name is
Yeah, my real name is
Ted Delonte. Kyle, it's really good talking to you, brother, and definitely keep going. It can be frustrating, and realistically, they may never get there. They may never get there, but just keep being the awesome dude that you obviously are. Be a
thank you.
Be a good influence and show that. And the more you do, the more people are going to catch on. People in the community that I came from in Southern California, it was very largely Catholic. And I said this story right around Christmas time. I have a Santa get up. I actually have done the Santa thing for a long time.
Yep.
And when people found out that I was an atheist, they blew their freaking minds because they couldn't put that image of an atheist that they had in their head together with this guy, Eric, that they know that
is smiley. Just look at that face.
That
Does it
goes
do
in-
anything but smile?
And around Christmas time, I'd go on my lunch break and go read stories to kids in classrooms.
Yeah. And then the kids found
Help
out.
fundraise
One of them was
and
like, Santa is a lie. And
So, I mean, just do that. Be that good person, and you will be that image of that people think of when they think of an atheist. It's awesome.
There are people
I
that,
appreciate you guys for having me on the show.
Yeah, well, thanks for calling in. I was just going to say, there are people that I talk to that are like, oh, I could never do what you do. There's nothing I can do for the movement. People know that I'm an atheist, but that's it. And it's like, that's a huge thing. I mean, don't be out if you can't. I know you're calling in with a fake name, but there's a reason that people think about it, so.
It's funny that you mentioned that. I know we're trying to move on to other colors, but be the person you want to model. And obviously, my Facebook personality definitely doesn't represent who my actual personality is, who I am one-on-one, and I should probably start working on that. But because I post a lot of those memes that are really in-your-face type stuff because some people need that. I needed that. That's how I converted. It was all in my face. But what she told me was the standard argument that atheists have no morals. And I was like, well, I'm an atheist. I've been an atheist for years. I don't go around raping and killing. And she's like, are you sure? Or she said something like
are you sure that you
know?
Don't go around killing?
Right. And I turned around on her. I was like, well, you're Christian. How do you know that how do I know you're not going around raping and killing? And that kind of just ended that conversation right there. So
It's offensive when you say it.
I'm looking forward to her talking to you guys. I feel like you guys might be able to bring stuff to her attention that's not so as aggressive as I am. So.
Oh, well, we can be aggressive, but the difference is she doesn't have to deal with us afterward.
Yeah. Well, also, in some ways it's easier to talk to someone that you're not close to, right? Like I can be very patient and calm with most people, but there's like a very small number of people that I've known basically my entire life where in a way that I wouldn't ever on a show, I will just respond to them at some point like, no, that's utter bullshit. Like, stop it. I don't want you to not bring that up around me. I want to be able to tell you every time you think about that that's bullshit. But, that's it's different. It's different. I have to be nice to people that I'm not friends with.
Yeah.
I don't know. Thanks for calling in, Mike.
Yeah, definitely. You take care, brother.
Nope. All right, see you guys.
Bye.
See you.
All right. Actually,
Mike,
you know what?
whose name is
before we take this next
Mike.
call, man, that's nice. I'm glad that we could get help that way.
Yeah.
our next call, and we do have a few more open lines. If you are religious, if you're watching,
super brief.
give us a call. We won't hurt.
Yeah.
512-686-0279.
That was okay. No, it's just usually you. Yeah, never mind. There's something about the way you just said we won't hurt that was like, it reminded me of like Patton Oswalt's comedy bit where he's talking about like autocomplete sent a message to his wife where he like she said I love you and he was trying to reply and it just sent the message I hate in response. And so you're like we won't hurt. We not hurt you. Like
So I'm actually taking a look at our Patreon.
Ooh.
And we have 15 patrons. I'm really, really, really excited
People
about
gonna make
that.
us dance?
Just remember, if you become a patron
before the end of this show,
we are going to thank you by name. And if you become a patron at the $3 level or more, you can pop a sentence in the community tab for patrons, and we will read that sentence within reason. If it is horrendous, we are not going to read it.
yeah, don't.
But
we're
we
not
have
saying anything nice about Hitler.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't mind making fun of the way that I look. So bring it.
Oh,
Our next caller.
Russell Jones has thrown some Latin at me.
Oh, also, really quick, if you want to find us on Patreon, it's patreon.com/talkheathen-to-me. Patreon.com/talkheathen-to-me. There is a patreon.com/talkheathen. That is not us. If you donate to them, we are not going to be doing.
Is the regular Talk Heathen taken?
Yes.
Who?
I was started at the beginning of the year. I'm looking into it. Tony. I'm sorry.
Is it you?
Now I'm pissed.
Are you?
Did you take
Patreon/Talk Heathen
from us?
You're the next person we've spoken
How
to.
dare you?
Therefore, it's you. Yes. Explain yourself, sir.
Or just say hi. Hi.
Or just tell us what you want to talk about. Sorry. We've scared him away.
We have. Tony,
Hi,
there,
Tony.
buddy?
Should I talk?
Yes.
Yeah,
What do you want to
sorry.
talk about?
Hello.
Sorry.
Hey, well, actually, I met you guys at the Atheist Convention. I was there I came with my children, and we were like the first people to meet you Friday morning when you guys were setting up your table and stuff.
You're the one who bought the bug, right?
Pardon me? Yeah, I bought the mug.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry we yelled at
gave me
you.
the-
That's real
the
bad.
Talk Heathen to me. You were the, Jamie, you said, hey, you want this one that says Talk Heathen to me, or you want the one that says just Talk Heathen? And I took the Talk Heathen to me, which I proudly display at work. I drink coffee from it all the time.
Good man.
And that and my American Atheist coffee mug is there as well. Even if I'm not drinking, I pull it out and set it on counter, leave it around so everybody could see it.
Mm-hmm.
Good man.
Well, Eric, you asked me to, write in and tell you about my coming out story, and I never did write in. I'm not a big email person, but I heard you say call in, and I usually watch you guys like a day or so later, and actually today I'm watching you live, so I said, man, I'm going to call in. What the heck?
Yeah.
Well, so
we can go through your deconversion story. Let's just make sure that it's somewhat tight so that we don't, get bogged down.
Your story is probably fine, but we've had
another
some
caller in there. You let me know, and I get off. Like I told him, I didn't even have to get on today. I'm just trying to fill some airtime for you. So I got to get my name up on there too. That's pretty cool.
We appreciate
Eric
it.
thanks you
We appreciate
for providing a shield from me.
Everybody else who wants to call in, 1-512-686-0279. Jamie was just saying we've been burned in the past. That's all.
That night just reminded him that if there's no callers, he's stuck with me and me alone.
Tony, save me. Tell me.
No, what's your...
Hey, that's not so bad. You guys are brilliant. I love it. Don't put me into the same line as everyone else that says you're doing a great thing. The ACA, all of them, the nonprofits, everything. It's fabulous. Fabulous. I can't wait. I'm coming to the Bat Cruise, so I'll be seeing you there. I'm bringing friends with. We're all coming from Chicago. We're coming. We're going to rock Austin.
Nice.
So here's my coming out. I was an altar boy. I went to a Catholic St. Stanislaus in Posen, Illinois. I'm getting the little names there. And I was an altar boy. And, some of the fellow altar boys used to steal money from the collection basket. You know? So that always struck me as funny. And we used to drink the wine, and it was real wine. We found that there was a little passageway. You could go into the Monsignor's room from where the altar boys got dressed. And then they...
Oh, that's creepy.
A couple of the guys went in there, and a couple of guys went in there and found this big 5-gallon jug of wine underneath the sink in there. And we used to we were drunk. I mean, we're in grade school, drunk, serving mass. It's hilarious.
Okay.
So anyway,
There's always a positive influence on the youth, clearly.
So you're saying there was a secret passage from
the Monsignor's
room where the altar boys got dressed, and they happened to find it and got drunk off of a 5-gallon jug of... That's real creepy, man.
Wait,
that is
was
super,
it like
super
his
creepy.
office, or like, is that where he lived?
It wasn't a secret passage.
Oh.
It was just a small corridor. It was a wide open, you could see it.
Damn it, now I wish it was a secret
part
passage. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't.
Right?
It was a regular, you could go between rooms without leaving and going out into the hallway. It was just like a little skinny corridor that connected the two rooms together.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so I never... I didn't know there were such things as atheists. I thought everybody believed as a kid, right? I didn't know there were people that didn't believe. The thing that always bothered me is being born with original sin. That never fly with me. What do you mean I was born with a sin because someone else bit an apple? Get out of here. I mean, that's ridiculous. And so I always kind of doubted the stuff, right? But, thinking it was true. I mean, anyways, it took, I've been out now, and then I read the Bible. I read it back in like 6th, 7th grade, and I only got so far before I had to close it because I found the contradictions in there, and then I would flip a couple pages back and reread it and say, go forward, read it, and I'm like, well, boy, those things contradict each other. They're only pages away. Then I ran into a couple more. Then I ran into stuff about women. And I was like, oh, man, if my dad ever did that to my mom, no way would my dad ever treat my mom like that. And I ended up closing that book. Never read another book again until I was 50. And that was Lawrence Krauss's A Universe from Nothing. Wow. And now I am just overwhelmed with wanting knowledge. I love it. I am watching you guys, the Atheist Experience, Seth Andrews, going to the conventions. I'm science, Cosmos, the Space-Time Odyssey, really is what took me over the top. When I watched all 12 episodes, like 7 times each, plus Neil deGrasse's Inexplicable Universe lecture series, it was great learning all this stuff. So empowering. I don't know if that explains my coming out. It was a Cosmos series. Really got me the education I needed to get above and beyond where I needed to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? That absolutely makes sense. I mean, when you take a look at least when I was a Christian, there was this idea that awe and wonder come from God. And there was this passive thought in my mind that, if I ever was not religious, that I would lose that sense of awe and wonder. And so when you learn that you are still a part of a truly magnificent, amazing, incredible thing that we don't even know everything about, it sets you on fire to want to learn. It sets you, on edge to just want to absorb as much as you can. So I totally get it. Yeah. I mean, you found that wonder without having to see it through religion, and getting to have that wonder. I'm so happy for you because...
Well, it is wonderful, too. I mean, being out and looking back, and here's a question I have. I invited you to come up to Chicago, and I said, if you guys ever come, I'd love to be your tour guide. I spoke with you, Eric, and Jamie. I didn't talk to you about it, but I did talk to Eric and Russell Glasser about it. And actually, Russell touched on, because he wasn't raised Catholic or religious, and he gave a little analogy of what he sees people do. And he goes, first you get angry, then you spend several years getting all this knowledge, and then you go out and change the world. And that's exactly what I did. I forgot, I got off on a tangent there. I was saying, but I invited you guys. I'm going to send a letter. Keep my phone number there. If anybody from the ACA, you guys come to Chicago. I'm a member at the Adler Planetarium, the Morton Arboretum, Brookfield Zoo. I'd be glad to be your tour guide for you guys. Drive you around, pick you up from the airport, take you to your hotel. Never see you again, but give you a free ride and chit-chat with you on the way. Plus, I drive a hybrid, so we'll be reducing our carbon footprint if you take me instead of somebody who's not a hybrid.
Tony, brother,
wow,
you don't have
sold.
Take the free ride.
Cool.
We're totally sold.
Are there any blackout dates on this exclusive deal? Like, this is awesome.
Oh, no, well, I work nights. I get all kinds of vacation. I'd even take a vacation day or go to work late calling sick just to drive you guys around. I don't have a problem with that. I'm 50. I'm pretty... I call my own shots. But yeah, actually, my daughter, she's going to be attending Arizona State University. So this summer we're going to be going to, doing that. We have an orientation, and I'll be moving her in August. So there are a couple blackout dates, but if you give me a heads up notice, I certainly will work something. I'll let you know I can't, but there's not many of them. All right, give me a little notice, and I'll let you know if I'm available or not. Certainly, and that's everybody. That's the people in the crew too. I'd like to meet them as well.
Well,
how do you? I have 24 friends coming to the Adler Planetarium. We're celebrating the summer solstice. I celebrate the solstices. Eric, I have the holidays too. I love putting lights up. I like doing all that stuff. But I don't celebrate Christmas. I celebrate the winter solstice, the rising of our sun and ascending to heaven after being dead for 3 days. It rises up and ascends to heaven under the Virgin. Wonderful stuff. Worth celebrating. So that's it. Yeah, I mean, I hear you say you celebrate Christmas. Could you stop? Still celebrate the season, but not Christmas. Celebrate Saturnalia.
Well, actually, I want to push back on
round one.
Yeah, I want to push back on that because the Christians can have everything about Christmas that's in the Bible. Right? And I will keep Santa. I'll keep the presents. I'll keep the Yule log. I'll keep the tree. I'll keep the eggnog. I know it's controversial. I like eggnog.
The gift giving
and the mulled wine.
Oh, it's good.
But not being in a barn with a bunch of animal poop.
Yeah, I mean, they can keep all the Christian shit, but when we actually went and made it good, hell yeah, I'm gonna keep it because it's ours. And if somebody's going to try and co-opt it, no, that's really ours. Fuck you.
Yeah.
You know what? We actually had that first.
Yeah, we had that first.
And it was...
Who's waging the real war on Christmas?
That's right, motherfucker.
Huh?
Look,
yeah.
I mean,
war to reclaim Christmas. That's what we're going to launch right
We get
here
that. And just like so many other words in our language, and the English language, and I know it's the same for every other language, it's part of our cultural heritage. You have just as much a right to Christmas as everybody else. And if somebody says, stay out of my Christmas, let them have it, because ours is way cooler. And if they try and co-opt it, they're kind of posers.
All right, well...
I think that's the most passionate thing you've said today.
Mass, though. Isn't that the Bible part?
I'm sorry, Jamie was talking. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry.
That's right. I mean, the Christmas, Christ's Mass, the birth, I mean, that's Bible.
Well,
I even take that part out. I just call it either Saturnalia, where it originally started, or the winter solstice.
All right.
I still celebrate like you, Santa Claus. I'll put the hats on, Christmas lights up, and look at me. It's ingrained in us. I just said Christmas. Put the solstice lights up. And it's going to take a while to get this right. But so anyways, I'm having this celebration, bunch of friends, right? And they're almost all believers, okay? But they dig science. It's called Adler After Dark. What they do is they close the planetarium, and the museum closes. They reopen it at 6 o'clock. Well, in the summer, they do it later, so we get more nighttime to see the sky. So they open it at 6:30 for June, July, and August. 6:30 to 10:30, 21 and over. It's a nightclub. They turn the planetarium into a nightclub. They have a band there or a DJ. They have scientists come and talk, astronauts, and it's a great time. You could take your drinks with you everywhere, even into the shows.
Nice.
I was going to say, they have
even into the
scientists come in,
shows.
like
Yeah,
the
it's
regular nightclub.
All right. Well, for those of you in Chicago, check that out. I know that Jamie and I are.
Oh, yeah, it's a blast. It sells out.
Oh, go ahead.
It sells out pretty much every month. It's sold out. They had that. So if you ever come into Chicago, third Thursday of every month, and the theme changes, each month. So it's different when you get there. They have sciences. Actually, I saw a tardigrade, the water bear, right?
Oh, yeah.
I saw one at Adler After Dark. They had it under a microscope and then up on a screen, and you got to move the slide around because the tardigrade was moving. Mm-hmm. So you had to move the slide to keep it, up so you could see it because it would, move out of the way. And I was like, I saw a tardigrade. That was so cool.
Mm-hmm. I love that, man.
So how do you tell friends? How do you kind of open their eyes without offending them? I mean,
well, what you do is you keep being the awesome fucking guy that you are, just like we were talking to the last dude. Mm-hmm. Tony, I met you, and you had your kids with you. Yeah. You're an active parent. And not only that, but you care and you're excited about things. I'll tell you that in Southern California, there was the California Science Center, and I would go there, and it was for kids, who are in middle school, who are going on field trips, and I am having a friggin' blast. The best dates I ever had were actually going to the California Science Center. Because it's fun, because you... Okay, no, that's weird, and you took that to a weird place, and that's on you. So...
yeah, your dates with...
But there's a... damn it, Jamie! There's a wonder. There's a wonder to the natural world. And when you get to explore it, you're never too old to be excited about science camp. You're never too old to be excited about exploring the world, big and small, all around you. And being a dad who gets to do that, holy shit, man, being a friend of yours and getting to see what an awesome guy you are, I couldn't imagine, that doesn't have a big impact. Be an open atheist, be an out atheist, and be the person that people think of when they think of an atheist. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, and being a soldier, I'm a Army veteran.
Oh, thank you for your
so that kind of helps when people. I was actually a volunteer at Reason Rally. I was on the VIP.
Yeah.
I met Russell Glasser at the Reason Rally. Took a picture with him. I showed him the picture I took of him when we were at the convention. But I wore my Desert Combat uniform up on stage and I stayed there all day as a VIP volunteer on the stage, and to show people that you can be patriotic even if you don't believe in God. You have a soldier right up here. How more patriotic can you get? And it was cool. They took a lot of pictures of me that I didn't know about when I went to their website. I mean, I was posted. If you ever watched the DVD of Reason Rally, I am wearing the red volunteer shirt in the desert camouflage on that stage. You see me like crazy on that thing. That's me. And actually, you met me as Tony O, Chicago. Mm-hmm. And here they just put Tony Romeoville. When I'm at conventions, Reason Rally, I go by Tony O, Chicago, because it kind of rhymes. It's easy to remember. People remember that way. So that was how I introduced myself to you guys.
Yeah.
But I'll end this call.
It was really great talking to you, man. Mm-hmm. This is.
Yeah, it was nice talking to you guys. Like I said, I'll see you guys all at the Bat Cruise. I plan on coming to the show the next day, hanging out in the audience there. Actually, I was going to come this summer, and Tracy said, well, why don't you come to the Bat Cruise? And I was like, that was brilliant, because if I would have came this summer and come to the show, I probably wouldn't have had enough vacation time to come to the Bat Cruise, too.
Well,
then when she said that, I was like, oh, that was brilliant, Tracy. Thank you so much. Yeah,
I thought you were going to say,
well, we look forward to seeing you
in the summer, you were going to melt. Yeah.
We're going to move on to the next call. Mm-hmm. Thank you for calling.
Sounds good.
And we'll keep in touch, okay, brother?
Mm-hmm.
You bet.
All
Rock on.
Yeah.
Yeah. James in Florida. You are live with Eric and Jamie.
Hi, James. How are you doing?
How are you guys?
I'm marvelous.
Well, man, the caffeine is kicking in, right? It's toward the end. Mm-hmm. We announced the Patreon, and I'm watching, and I see a lot of silly things that we got to say, so I'm kind of excited about that. Yeah, so I got to tell you, man, I'm on cloud 9. What did you want to talk to us about today? Oh, by the way, Patreon.
One up. I'm on cloud 10.
Not necessarily in this show, but in other shows. I've noticed you said some kind of disparaging things about Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
And I really kind of wanted to ask what you have against the foundational principles of Western society.
Those are two different things.
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson is a human being. The foundation of Western society is an idea about, is presumably actually debatable, depending on who you ask. I mean, those are very different things.
Do you think Jordan Peterson is a principle of Western society? Like, do you think our society is built upon Jordan Peterson?
Well, I would say on white males, yes.
Okay.
So when you say Western, so let's get into this. So when you say Western society, can I take a stab that you're talking about Europe, the British Isles, and the United States?
That's a large part of it, probably the most productive part at the moment.
Okay. When you say the foundation of Western society being built on white males, can you just give a brief idea of what you mean? Like, where historically would you mark the foundation of Western society? Because...
well, I don't mean to be that guy who kind of references YouTube videos, but I think it's relevant here. If you just tune in to a really great YouTube channel called Genetically Modified Skeptic, that guy really kicks ass with all of his videos, and I think that you should watch it because it's me.
Oh my God.
Oh, Drew, I love you so much.
Oh, okay.
My gosh. You had me there. Drew, can we change the name? Drew, what's going on, brother?
No one has gotten me that good.
I just wanted to say good show, guys, and thanks for letting me be on last week.
That may have been the best.
Man.
How much do you...
I love that.
I'm afraid to say this on the air. That is every hook to just get me to forget what humor is and dig in. Actually, I was building up to the like, oh really? So that's what you think history is? Like just, oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I almost
if I wasn't wired to this table, I might walk out. Holy shit.
Go ahead. Hello?
But yeah, I won't distract you guys from hopefully some more theist callers since I kind of took one of their spots, I would imagine.
No,
yeah,
you're
good
good.
show, guys, and I just wanted to mess around with you a little bit. Hopefully I can send some of my viewers over here to watch this part and they'll watch the rest too.
Drew, we had a really, really good time last weekend. Jamie?
That was amazing.
Drew is Genetically Modified Skeptic.
I know.
Weekend,
Yeah.
And it was an absolute blast. For those of you who didn't watch last weekend's episode when myself and Drew were on the air together, shame on you. Check it out. It was amazing. I had a really good time, man. When's the next time you're coming to Austin?
Oh man, hopefully soon.
Good.
I would like to be able to come back like in July at the latest probably. I don't know because Seth is supposed to be on pretty soon, so maybe I'll be able to make it out that.
Well, you know who's on today, right? AXP. I mean, Jamie and I are on talking.
Yeah, I was gonna say he should know who he just trolled. Sorry, I'm still reeling.
Yeah, AXP after this is going to be Matt and Tracy.
Yeah.
So
that
get in
rare
your car. If you leave now, you
combination.
can be here in time.
Yeah, no, I'm
worth trying.
right now.
It was
I'm
worth
pretty
trying.
sure that if I show up and I meet Tracy and I'm all like disheveled and unshowered and I've driven for 3 hours, that she's going to be, well, she'll remember me, but not how I would really want. So
that's true. Hey, the people that know Tracy knows that she's a real. I don't know. I can't formulate a joke. I'm still reeling from that troll.
Not everything needs to be a joke.
Kudos.
It's okay. All right, Drew, take care, brother. And I apparently I've been saying brother a lot. People have been talking about it in the comments. I guess I got to change up my verbiage. My friend, I'm so happy that we got to meet in person last weekend, and I'm really excited that it's not the last time that you're going to be coming out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was a great time, and you guys have fun with the last minutes of your show.
Will do.
Yeah.
Will do.
We got some explosive stuff coming up.
Yeah.
In a good way.
We'll catch you later, my man.
Yep.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. Man, he got you!
Yeah, that...
All right.
Yep.
So I think we should start reading some ridiculous things people have been saying that we need to read. What do you think? Or do you want to take one more call first? One more call?
Is it gonna? I need to recover. I don't even know.
No worries. We will take.
Which way is up?
Adam, in Nashville. You're on Live with Eric and Jamie. How's it going?
Hey, good to speak to you guys.
Good to speak to you too. Oh, really quick before we hop into the conversation, because I think after this we're going to be reading hilarious things that people want us to say. For anybody who hasn't had the chance, at the end of this episode, and this is the only time this is going to happen, if you become a Patreon subscriber to Talk Heathen, which is
right now
patreon.com/talkheathen to me, we will thank you by name. And if you become a $3 and up subscriber to Patreon and pop a sentence in the comment, we will read that sentence within reason.
Yeah.
But we have pretty high. We'll probably say whatever the hell you put in.
Within reason is a very broad statement. Also, this is your last chance.
This is it. Because this is not going to happen again.
This will be your last chance to own the original.
And it's also an opportunity to try and move myself and our producer to full time so we can keep the ACA open 7 days a week. So with that said, Adam, we've been talking all over you. What did you want to talk about today?
Sure. It goes back to last night. Russell Glasser had a debate with Matthew Powell on the Non Sequitur show. And I've noticed this trend, which I would call, and I think I've heard other people call it, lying for Christ. And I can't, it's hard to prove someone lied, but I kind of want to lay out what I saw and why I think it's lying, if you guys want to entertain that.
Okay. I haven't watched the debate yet. I worked last night.
Sure. Well, I'll give you a very, very, very small outline and what my experience with this has been, because I've experienced this too, where people kind of just witness to you or try to convince you of their religion, and they're not afraid to lie. And I'm pretty sure it's just straight out lies, because in the conversation, it was Dawkins' book that got brought up. I'm just trying to remember the name of it, The Blind Watchmaker. And in the book, Dawkins mentions the human eye, and I Googled it, well over 100 times.
Oh, yeah.
It's the main thesis of the book. And yes, you know. And
I love that book.
And so, and so this was brought up last night. It was a main point of the debate because Matthew Powell kept kind of quote mining the book. And what he did to quote mine was actually he was pretty much reading from a Frank Turek debate. And he even gets the page wrong and the quote wrong because Turek's kind of paraphrasing the quote when he mentions it in a debate. And Turek gets the page wrong. And then Matthew doesn't even know that the human eye is kind of the main thesis or one of the main focal points in the book about the complexity and how that complexity could arise. And so, Russell kind of calls him out on this. And he's like, oh, well, I guess I didn't read it carefully. I don't really read them carefully. The book's at my parents' house. I guess I didn't read it carefully enough. I'll read it again. And one thing he said that really got to me, and this is where I bring it back to me and my experiences, is he said, well, we'll let the viewers decide. Well, I'll let the viewers decide. So rather than saying I was wrong, he's kind of saying to, the Christian viewers, oh, hey, guys, go look this up, which probably they won't. And, people who are not going to believe him are not going to believe him anyways. But I've been around and talked to many, many street preachers, and one of them had a sign that said, the Bible said that winds can go in a cyclone, but science believed that winds can only go straight. And I said to him, when did science say this? And he said, well, just Google it. And he couldn't even defend his own sign that was saying how science got it wrong and the Bible got it right. And so I think there's this whole kind of lying for Christ epidemic, and I don't know, that's my whole problem right now. I just wanted to kind of point this out.
Well, I think that it is indicative of a larger issue where people want to be right, and so they'll hop into Google and try and find anything that'll prop up their view of things, and that's when they stop doing their research. And as much as I want to say that it's an epidemic just in the Christian end of things, I see it everywhere. It's I've seen other atheists do it. I've seen people do it about whatever the discussion is. They'll find a quote that sounds like it could be for them, and it doesn't matter how valid or what context it is in. That's where you get people who are, trying to say, oh, well, Einstein confessed God on his deathbed. And, it's just...
They don't even go that far. They just say
People said Stephen Hawking had a deathbed conversion, or his last things had everything. And it's like, I see it, and we need to really push with skepticism. And Jamie, do you want to? I feel like you're waiting to hop in, so go ahead.
No, I mean, you're right. That's just sort of an aspect of human nature and lacking skepticism entirely. I mean, I would like to be right. I am right. I'm fighting to be right, and let me find something to show that I am right.
Yeah.
It's
confirmation.
No, I totally agree with that, and I think your last caller who believed in Jordan Peterson so much was an example. I'm kidding.
I was like, oh no, now I have to explain that was a troll.
No. I think a lot of people just try to validate, and unfortunately, we see this with a lot of quote mining because you brought up Stephen Hawking, and he was even mentioned last night, and it was a quote about how. I believe it's like the complexity of the universe, and with what we understand, it seems like only God could do this. Then Hawking, in chapter 8 in his book, A Brief History of Time, which this quote was taken from, goes on to later explain how he thought this till he came up with a model of the universe which excluded the need for a God. And like he's literally outlining, like, here's what we thought, and then here's what I figured out. But people take kind of the here's what we thought and never lead to the rest of it. So you kind of, like you said, people who do their own research stop kind of when they validate their own viewpoint.
Yeah.
And then they kind of spread that viewpoint that is not, it just drives me nuts, drives me up a wall.
It does, and we need to do better about that. Adam, this is a good point that we need to make for everybody. If you are doing that,
stop it.
Stop it!
Learn to be a skeptic.
Do your fucking research and actually do more than just Google until you find something that looks good and pick that out from among what may be evidence to the contrary of what you're trying to say. Don't try to reinforce your preconception. Look for the truth and follow it. Yeah. Follow the evidence.
Learn what skepticism is and become a skeptic.
What?
Thank you guys so much for your time. I want to reiterate one thing you said because I think it was so powerful. Just be able to say, like, I was wrong or I don't know. And I wish more people would do that. And thank you guys so much for taking my call.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, Adam.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I think we have some things.
Yes, we do. Do you have Patreon up? Because I've got a couple.
I do. Yeah.
So let's start by reading some names. If you have not become a Patreon subscriber, we may not read your name at this point. Do it quickly, or...
The clock is ticking because the first one on here is from Janet Reyes.
Yes, and we also want to thank Katie. Oh, we're going to reread.
Be the change you want to see. Help build community by being approachable. Educate, don't alienate. O'Doyle rules.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Kendall said, that's why you left it for me.
Yeah, are you skipping Russell?
No, Kendall's at the top for me.
Oh.
Kendall Hopkins, thank you so much for donating. Kendall says, #right swipe Eric. Mm-hmm. Okay, Russell Jones. Oh, got it. Dice que si semper victurus, vive casi cras moriturus. Thank you, Russell.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Eric's pronunciation of Latin is his own and not the official Latin.
Yeah, I said it in a Spanish way. You read it.
Nope. Not gonna have this fight with you on the air.
Nicole Cedillo.
You mispronounced the V's.
Got it. Nicole Cedillo. Thank you so much for donating. And Nicole wants us to let you know that if you are in or around Moriarty, New Mexico, check out the Moriarty Mini Comic Convention. You can, let's see.
August 4th from 10 to 4 in Moriarty, New Mexico.
Yep, find them on Facebook, Moriarty Minicon.
Yeah. Help support our local library and win some great prizes at the costume contest or in our, they have an escape room. Sweet.
Nice.
Enjoy the gamers room or watch a movie in the screening room or take some money out of the free cash room. No, wait, I added that part. Hang on. Yeah.
Godzilla Eyes. Thank you so much for donating. Godzilla Eyes says, because I'm watching you guys while traveling from Seattle to Eugene, Oregon, Nicole Hall is currently on a train. Choo choo.
Thank you, Anthony Lussier, or Lussier. I don't know how you pronounce your last name, but your sentence is ditch the fossils and talk heathen to me.
Let's do that. All right, Justin Callahan, thank you. Oh, that's not nice.
Eric
Okay.
Murphy is clearly the superior host of Talk Heathen in every way, and I shall always be jealous of this fact.
If I had to rate Christmas out of 10, I'd give it a 0. Christmas sucks. It kills something deep inside of me.
Mine was sincere, so.
Aww. See what you guys did. All right, I think.
Can we get some love rings up? Because I think we just
hold
have.
on.
Yeah, we have another. We've more than one left. Just by the way.
Oh yeah.
It's. Updated.
I just want to thank the other people by name who have all become patrons. Oh, we also have one more. Oh, we have one in.
No.
And it's from Katie Prather, who actually was our very first donor. Thank you, Katie. And
have I been
she wants us to sing
her last name forever?
Bacon. What is it?
Bacon pancakes. Making bacon pancakes.
Take some bacon and I'll put it in a pancake. Bacon pancakes. That's what I'm gonna make. Bacon pancakes.
Love rings. All right, and we are. Wait, no. I think there's another one.
Now we have patrons. Are we ready?
Now we have
We
patrons.
want to thank at the $1 level, Rosalind Bradshaw, Christopher Sabionski, Anthony Orfino, Joseph Schmidt, Thomas W., Luxander, Godless Bitches. Thank you, Godless Bitches. Katie Prather. And at the $2 level, Anthony. Oh, no. Anthony's just being awesome to be awesome. Anthony Magnabosco. Thank you. Do you want to get the $2 and $3 levels, or do you want me to?
I don't have the
Here
list.
you go. Here's the $2.
All right, at the $2 level. Wow, I lost English there for a second. My Humble Assault and Jexka 007.
And at the
we're gonna refresh
$3 level,
because we
have.
Hang on.
Holy crap. Okay.
Yeah, read the $3.
Yeah, $3 level. Janet Reyes, Godzilla Eyes, Russell Jones, Justin Callahan, Matt Dillahunty.
What?
Matt Dillahunty has something for us to say.
No, leave it for the end. What are you doing?
Oh, okay. Well, we'll leave that one for the end.
Yeah.
Nicole Cedillo, Howard Simmons, Jim Barrows. I see you in the back there, Jim.
Hey.
Kendall Hopkins, Matthew Spencer, and
Joe
moving
White.
up for people who are being freaking amazing, Joe White, Anthony Lucier,
and Wellington Marcus Smith is our #1 patron at the moment.
Yes.
Holy shit.
And we want to thank you so much. Every step gets us closer to being a full-time employee, and we really.
I should say, I want to drink a shot off Drew's belly.
There we go. Say that again. I didn't hear it.
Okay, you know what? Because you're the #1 patron, I want to drink a shot off Drew's belly.
Drew, you hear that? Mm-hmm. More reason. More reason.
We're getting a pointing to a thing. No. It's he's pointing to the patron thing.
No,
I don't have the list.
Matt sent a goddamn message. Hold on
Did
a
he?
second. Yes.
What's it say?
Okay, so I think it's about time for us to get that up. Are we going to say our quote from Matt?
My dad is a patron and is proud of me and made me say this.
And he
wants... Is there more?
Nope, that's it.
Are you sure? I think there's...
One more?
No, you're done.
Let me try that again.
No, you're done.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's get some love rings up.
Yep. For those of you that don't believe, you always have a community here with us.
For those of you who do believe.
No,
you're done. No, that's me. No,
I
fuck
said
you.
I wrote dibs, okay?
No, you know what, though? I can't.
This is the best. I think this is the best ending so far.
We don't hate you. We just think you're wrong. See you next week. No. Dude, that was awesome.
That was great.